I'm Meg and welcome to your UOW update for Week 5 Autumn Session. Did you know that Indigenous Australians are still dying 10 to 17 years younger than other Australians? This and other issues were highlighted at the Close the Gap Day, promoting Indigenous health, equality and social change. When you think of Aboriginal dancing, I'm sure you don't imagine this. Elders from Wadi and Darawal Nation came to UOW to celebrate Close the Gap Day. The day is about demanding Indigenous health equality by 2030.
It's a chance for everybody to acknowledge the fact that a lot still needs to be done in the area of Indigenous health, and people coming together and meeting and talking about solutions for that for the future.
Nathan Foley, former member of High Five and proud UN man, was a guest speaker.
Such gross inequality cannot be allowed to continue, it just can't.
A university can play a major role in assisting the community and the Indigenous people to actually close the gap.
Yeah, it's really important that we have that support and know all the Aboriginal students here as well so we can connect. Still pretty hard for Aboriginal people in Australia.
Students and staff have shown their strength and support rallying together to raise funds for earthquake and tsunami devastated Japan. Different groups across the university helping to raise funds for the Red Cross, as well as lending support to one another in this difficult time.
Japan needing your help! Please support the disaster relief effort in Japan. All donations.
Pray for Japan is a way for students to reach out and support Japan in the wake of one of the worst natural disasters the country has ever seen.
Every time I see new updated news or videos, I feel really sad.
I still cannot contact with one of my friends who lives in north near Sendai. So she is missing, but if I can help something for her, I want to do whatever I can.
Students from UOW's Japanese Society rallied to raise funds for the relief effort.
All of our donation will be sent to the Australian Red Cross, which works in conjunction with the Japanese Red Cross Society in Japan.
Donations were acknowledged with gifts of origami.
Oh, is this a girl?
I think this one made by boys.
I see colourful notes in this bucket.
And over $10,000 was raised by students, staff and housemates. There will be donation buckets around campus for the next 2 weeks. Alyce Taylor, UOW TV.
For most people, visiting Antarctica is a dream, but for UOW research student Jess Bramley-Alves, the dream has become a reality. Jess has just returned from a research trip to Antarctica and Macquarie Island, studying climate change.
Jess Bramley-Alves is in UOW's Robinson Lab. She's studying moss in Antarctica and Macquarie Island to determine changes in climate over the past 200 years.
We basically look at each section of the moss, correlate it to an age, and then look at the water availability at that time.
Although the research is in early stages, there's been significant changes on the ground.
So Macquarie Island in particular, we've found that the weather patterns, although there's more water because there's heavier dumps of rain, the continual misty rain is decreasing, and that could potentially cause quite significant damage for the mosses that rely on the misty rain every day.
Getting down to Macquarie to carry out the research is a challenge in itself. On Jess's most recent trip, she braved 3 days of 10-metre swell.
You were lying in bed, holding on with your hands and your toes and still sliding out.
It's experiences like this that cement the sense of community on the island.
We've got this wonderful group of about 30 people in a research station in the middle of the ocean, and they really become your family in a way.
After months in the sub-Antarctic, it's a shock coming home.
You don't really care about the latest hair straightener because you've just spent, time walking around with elephant seals and penguins. You can describe an iceberg and describe what it's like to sleep on the ice in a sleeping bag and listen to the ice cracking all night, but no one can quite picture it or get it.
Madelaine, Dickie, UOW TV.
Visiting Professor of Environmental Technology Roland Clift has given environmental culture academics a global perspective on the future of sustainability research. The distinguished engineer says professional collaboration and high-end manufacturing are key to creating a more sustainable world.
If you want to be a responsible, less unsustainable consumer, then you ought to be spending your money on high quality produce, high quality food, and you need to look at the way in which that food or garments or whatever it is produced.
His presentation on supply chains and sustainable consumption was warmly welcomed by the Australian Centre for Cultural Environmental Research. It was decision time for New South Wales voters on the weekend, and UOW TV was keen to know what students want from the next term of government and what are their important issues.
I'd like to see more money put into arts and art-related things.
More focus on younger people.
Transparency.
I don't really care, to be honest.
Pay a lot more attention to the environment.
Keep the shuttle buses free. Funding for education.
I'd like to see some kind of unity.
Competency, because it is politics. What do you expect?
And finally, a reminder that the university's career fair will be held at the Sports Hub next Tuesday, the 5th of April, and it's a great opportunity for students to talk with potential employers. And that's our update for week 5. I'm Meg Collins, and from all of us here at UOW TV, have a great week.